Says live.
Well, I don't think I've got the right one out there. Well, I think that was a heck of a screwy startup for a beginning. Why is the heck is the...
There we go. It's gone.
There, it was like, why is the StreamYard thing up above my head? So, heck of a beginning, but you can blame it on me. I'm pushing the wrong buttons. It won't be the first time, and it won't be the last that I push the wrong buttons. Trust me.
I don't see us up on YouTube.
That's what I'm just looking at.
Yeah, I don't see it on yet.
Well, everybody's out there on the chat.
It's
We are.
It's
We
live.
are live. We are live on Twitch.
No, I just need the chat screen on the left, so
Sure.
I'm good.
Hello, everyone.
But are we live on YouTube yet?
Yes, we are.
We are?
Oh, we are?
Yes, we are. Yep.
I'm not getting it.
Me neither.
Yeah, oh, wait, here. Nope.
Let me hit refresh.
Oh.
Yeah, I have it.
It's not coming up for me.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's not pulling.
I don't have it either.
I don't either.
Well, everybody go over to Twitch.
If we're live, I'm getting Frenzy Wicked Truth says we are live over on YouTube.
Yep.
It says we are.
Not it for me.
Oh, there we are. We are. There we are. I had to go out and come back in.
Yeah, that's what I did.
All right, so this is one of those nights when everything I touch is going to like F up. So
It's because I'm here.
That could be it.
so, yeah.
Still not up for me. I went out and came back in and it's still not up.
No,
There it
mine
is.
isn't either.
I think.
The
Okay.
chat has
Yep, there we go.
Video.
Brenda, I had to totally close it out, go back to his webpage, and click from the main.
Oh, did you?
That's what I'm doing.
I'll try that.
You guys need to get a Linux machine.
Oh,
There you
don't
go.
even start.
There you go.
Where do you start?
I just can't run Windows Server on a Linux machine, so I can run the programs I need to run.
Still not working for me.
It is live over there, but it's not on the link that we provided. So,
Well, you got a
so
bunch of
with
people
that,
in a
I
chat
am
room.
sorry for those of you who are over on YouTube, and it did not show up like it was supposed to, but it is live. You just have to go over there and click on the different link. And we got big time reverb back, or somebody's going to show open.
Not me. Or is it?
Yes. Somebody had a double page on.
Yep, but it is open.
Yeah, it's working now.
Well, I'm still not getting it. And I went
I had
there.
to go- I had to
I
go
went all the way off of YouTube and came all the way back.
Well, I had to do that too, and it did it. So, and we waste the first 15 minutes of the show talking about if it's live or not.
Well, I'm just more concerned about you got a bunch of people in the chat room where they're not getting the live stream. And,
No,
what do we do with these people?
They're out there. They're out there because I'm receiving it over here on Restream. Dixon Hoffman's out there. Awesome Wood Things, Matt Haas. Aussie Man. Frenzy Wicked Truth. Gerald Vance is on Facebook. So hi, Gerald Vance. Glad you joined us over on Facebook. So yes, it is live over there.
I am on YouTube, Brenda, and I see us and I see them.
Yep, I do too.
The same ones Russ has mentioned.
Yeah. So it's out there. It seems like the beginning of each of these shows lately is kind kind of gotten worse is because used to it would pick it up real quick, but as of right now, it's like not picking it up real quick. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But Gerald Vance is over there on Facebook, and I think that's Lady Frenzy Wicked Truth is over there on Twitch. Al Forte is over there on Twitch. So, and then we have everybody else who is on YouTube. So thank you for being out there. I appreciate it.
It's YouTube checking the facts.
Yeah. Sorry for the little confusion in the beginning because I use Restream, and what Restream does is it posts it simultaneously on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And so sometimes it's a little bit of a little kinky kind of error thing, but it does work out. And the great thing that I like about it is all the chats from all three social medias come up in one place when I'm using Restream, so I can see everybody's post. Jeff Robinson's here. Paul's Messy Workshop, he's out there in the chat, so I can see all that. So that makes it pretty cool. First off, before we start the show, let me talk about my wonderful sponsors, and they are Devobal Technologies. For web design, development, and hosting, visit devobal.com. FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking. Create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Their Wood Supply Company, your best choice for hard-to-find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. Klingspor, the sanding specialist. Woodworkingshop.com. Seiko, the scroll saw specialist. Seiko.com. Scrollnado, desk collection for your scroll saw. You can find them on Amazon. And my voice is kind of hoarse tonight. The change of weather, it's just like hot, cold, hot, cold. You'll go from 37 degrees in the morning to the next day, 78 degrees in the afternoon. You've noticed that, haven't you, Chris?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not nothing that bad, but it's been cold in the morning.
Yeah, so
colder than expected.
It kind of like messes with my sinuses and everything. So
yeah,
that's the reason my voice is a little rough tonight. And so that being said, I would like to say one thing. There is a friend of mine. He's a firefighter paramedic, and he's from out of state, and he has a family. And give me 1 second, I'm gonna pull this up. This is totally off the fly. I've been thinking about him since I read this about him, and I just wanted to bring this up. And he's posted it and come up front with it on Facebook, so there's it shouldn't be a problem with me sharing this without any kind of problem. Minus 10 degrees.
Yeah, we got a wind chill of 25 below.
Not missing it.
Let me know if you can see this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, his name's Corey. I don't know how. Is it Orel?
Oral? I think it's Orel.
Orel. Okay, but Corey. He's a firefighter paramedic, and he's up in upstate. I know that. I was going to say about. Let's see. New Smyrna Beach, Florida. But it doesn't say where he's at. He may be. I thought he was upstate, but he may be closer than what I think, because he says New Smyrna Beach, Florida, graduated in 1996. But anyway, he has found out that he has stage 4 lung cancer. Just found that out. And Has a lot of fluid on his lungs. Matter of fact, this is what they're drawing out from his lungs right here.
Yikes.
So if you would be so kind as to say a prayer, and there might be a thing in the future where they start a GoFundMe page for Corey. He's a brother firefighter paramedic. Even though we didn't work with the same fire department, he's still my brother, and I pray for him. This is his wife and his 3 daughters here, and I would just say that keep them in your thoughts and prayers, because he's not doing good. I met him at the woodworking show in Atlanta 3 years ago. We hung out together. We had lunch together. Very nice guy. Just couldn't say more about him. And for him going from a healthy, stropping human being, firefighter, paramedic, go get them and kick their ass, to now that he's not being able to do that, I would just say that, Corey, my thoughts and prayers are with you. And I would ask that anybody that's out there to say a few prayers for him. Stage 4. He woke up one morning and couldn't hardly breathe. He was having a lot of problems breathing. He drove himself to the hospital, and they did some tests and some scans, and then they sent him for more tests, and it's come back that he has it's actually a rare form of cancer that attacks the inner linings of the lungs rather than the lungs themselves, but it's causing his lungs to fill up with fluid. And just say a prayer for him and keep him in your thoughts and prayers. So, and like I said, if I see a GoFundMe page where people can donate and send money for him, I will be posting it, and I would appreciate your help in supporting him. A brother firefighter, and we all try to stick together. So, that being said, Brenda, tell us where we can find
you can find me just about any place that's warm. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. I'm all over the place. Look for Brenda G's Designs. I do live stream on Thursday nights with Matt Haas, and we have a lot of fun there. So we hope you'll join us 7 p.m. on Thursday evenings over on my channel for a nice live stream for about an hour. I also give free advice. I said it was free. I never said it'd be good.
Great. Paul.
A thing about Brenda's advice. Saying it's not good is a compliment. Is there anybody that would argue that point? If you haven't listened to her things about free advice, you owe it to yourself to do that.
That's right.
So anyway, I'm Paul Corliss, Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, and here on Saturday nights. And also watching Al's stream on Sundays.
Great. Jim.
Jim Bashir's Driveway Workshop, and Aussie, the arbor came in. I don't know if you can see it. Is that the right one? I hope so. I tried it out on my lathe. It works fine. Not really.
That's it.
That's it. I'm out of jokes for the moment. But,
okay.
Yeah, this thing's pretty cool,
Chris.
though, Aussie. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I'm Chris here from the Old Cranky Workshop. Find me on YouTube and Facebook. And you also find me here in sunny South Florida, where it was a beautiful sunny day. So, anyways, 39 days till St. Patrick's Day. And for those who care, I take a size 12 pack. So just keep that in mind.
Michelle Marcoux, Frenzy Wicked Truth, Leonard Davis, Rick St. Louis, Dave Satoski. I hope that's right. Leonard Davis, I think I just said him. Michelle Loom. No, is it Michelle? Yeah, it's Michelle. Michelle Loom Knitter.
Mitchell Loom Knitter.
Mitchell Loom Knitter.
Mitchell. Oh, okay. Mitchell. Okay.
Mitchell
Loom Knitter.
from Twitch, along with Lady Frenzy Wicked Truth.
Appalachian Heritage Wood Shop.
Awesome wood things out there.
Yeah, Awesome Wood Things.
Where's that guy? He keeps popping up.
Leonard Davis.
I don't know, but he's awesome.
All out there. James Parker's out there. So well, yeah, all these people are out there in the shop. And then Al Forte.
Thank you. I'm Al Forte, Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop on YouTube is where you can find me. I've been doing, Kilroy79763, sorry, on Twitch, stream Sundays at 2 p.m. I've been doing this show now for a bunch of times, and here recently been joining Javi from Javi's Wood Shop. We're two old guys in their 50s and 60s reminiscing and talking about the 70s and 80s. Really exciting at 9 p.m. on YouTube also. But great to be here, guys. It's my honor, my pleasure.
Good, Dixon Hoffman. I mean,
Hey,
good
everybody.
that your overview took like 2 hours to do that. So go ahead.
Hey, everybody. I'm Dixon Hoffman. You can find me at hoffmansignsandDecals.com.
See how quick he was, Al?
It's the truth. What can I say?
I'm just messing with you. All right, so
It's still
tonight
the truth.
we have on our show a very special friend, even though at times I'd like to choke him to death because he went to work for that blue store.
He's special, all right.
Donald used to be on the show for a long time. I mean, almost in the when I first started, right, or close thereafter you joined.
Yep.
Yeah, because you actually you were on board when what's his name from Devobal Technologies?
Yep.
Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got a free website that night, didn't
Yep. RedneckKnowHow.com.
you? Yep. You got a free website from it. It was so funny that I had him on that show that night, Frank, and then after he was sitting there talking, he goes, and everybody was going like, wow, I wish I could have a website. And wow, yeah, that'd be close to having a website. And then he went like, oh, you don't have a website? No. So he gave like Shane and Shelly Cole, you, Donna Presley, and who else? There was 5 of them that night.
It was like Oprah. You get a website.
You can have a website.
You can have a website.
You can have a website.
Was Martin Schaffner here that night?
And John Schaffner. That's it.
Not Mark, John.
John, yeah. John Schaffner.
I think it was John that got it.
Yeah, he got the website. So 5 people got free websites that night. And so that was like so fantastic. But Donald and I've been still are friends. I mean, even though I forgive him for going to work for the blue store. I mean,
Hey,
but
I think what do you want?
Yeah, well, I think you had to give it up, didn't you?
Yeah, my health was giving me issues, and mental health ain't always been there good anyway. So
Yeah. and where the hell did you come up with Donald Vlogsifys Wood Shop?
Well, when I first started doing YouTube, I was going to do vlogs, which is a video vlog. And I come up with the name. You know us rednecks, we be making up words. Donald Vlogsifys.
That explains it.
Make their own words, make their own
I got to
language.
where I was doing a lot of woodworking stuff over there. I said, I'll just make a woodworking channel. And that's why I stuck to it. I didn't think nothing about it at the time, and that's just what it's always been. I've seen no reason to change it because that's what people know me as now.
And sometimes those unique names of your website actually can draw people in because they're like, who's the hell's a Vlogsify?
The hell's a Vlogsify?
So
And technically, I'm still vlogging. It's just about wood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how are you doing? I know your health, like you said, my back's been doing bad, but how are you doing overall?
Other than just getting old and having sciatica like you and all that, I'm doing pretty good. toothache here and there, but I mean,
Yeah. So I know we've had you on here a few times, but go into what got you started into your woodworking career.
actually, I've always played with doing woodworking and stuff. I've always enjoyed it, and back in 2005, my liver failed, so I wasn't working. I got bored, started playing with a Dremel tool and the wood carving and all that, and it just kind of gradually built up from there.
Cool.
I mean, it's not an exciting story. And then I got on YouTube and thought, dovetails. Wait a minute, I can do this.
Yeah, but now you hand cut all your dovetails, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything you do, you hand cut it all. I've watched you throughout the years, and yeah, I wouldn't forget that crap. I ain't hand cutting.
I've thought about doing it on the saw, but frankly, I'm too lazy to build a jig.
Yeah.
You're honest.
But
I mean, I've seen a lot of your dovetails, and I will say they're kind of crude, but they really are good. I mean, you've done a good job on them.
Well, I've learned how to hide the gaps with wood glue and sawdust.
That's my boy.
That's true.
If you can't see it wasn't a mistake.
What year? I was trying to figure out what year you joined me.
I think it was like
16? Yeah, I was thinking 2016. Yeah, I was thinking 2016. Yeah, because I started
on for. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was thinking I started the show in 2015, but I think you joined me midway through 2016.
Right.
Yeah, 2016.
The show's been going on for like 7 years, though, right?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah, this September will be actually 6 years.
So is this season 6 we're in, or season 5?
This is season. I thought it was season 6.
That's what I'm thinking too. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think this is season 6 that we're in. It doesn't say it over there on YouTube.
Well, yeah, but I didn't look. I'm sorry. I just asked.
Donald, Leonard Davis wants to know how many videos have you done and if you have lost track.
I'm just like 398 or something like that.
My hero. Jeez.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm getting ready to get 400.
How many do you do those and not pull all your hair out?
I don't.
Oh, that okay. All right.
You just pound on your head and it grows out your chin.
Pretty much. There's something about when I hit 40, everything started going down.
Well, as you get older, gravity takes over and everything goes down.
It stopped growing up here and growing in odd places everywhere else.
Yeah, that's God's little trick.
So you want to tell us about the Shopsmith? Is it going to be RIP with it, or we were talking about it a little earlier before the show started, and it looks like the motor's burned up in it?
If it's not burned up, it's well on its way. It still turns, but there's smoke coming out of it. To be honest, I was so mad when it started smoking last night, I ain't been back out there to mess with it.
Yeah.
I just know I was trying to push the wood through the table saw. It was losing power, and then all of a sudden I know the smoke coming up. It's like, okay, stop here, walk away.
Yeah.
You got a couple more questions here. The Appalachian Heritage Wood Shop wants to know, Donald, do you have the I gave you, and do you still use it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it's going to be in the video I'm getting ready to post in a couple of days.
And friends,
the tendons off that thing.
Frenzy Wicked Truth says, what does a Donald Vlogsify do in his bids?
A cross between running my mouth and a little bit of woodworking, and if you want to call it woodworking, every once in a while I'll turn something.
Just talk about the ones that are online, not the ones on you keep in your computer.
Oh,
He makes some awesome things on his
we
goods.
won't
That's what he
mention the
does.
ones I keep in.
Yeah,
my
he does.
computer.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about the ones on the computer, Brenda.
Well, we do, but we'll do it after the show.
He's made an awesome table, absolutely beautiful table that he gave to his daughter.
Oh yeah.
I
And
remember
I've
that.
been trying to get him to adopt me so I could get one of them too.
Yeah,
I still ain't got that thing to hurt.
That was really a nice table.
And he does everything by hand that he makes like
Not
that.
everything. I do. I mean, I will employ a power tool depending on my mood, but 9 times out of 10, the hand saw's right there, or whatever. And that's what I'm gonna do. And I don't have a joiner, so it's natural. If I join anything, it's gonna be with a hand plane.
You could go on that Woodwright shop there on PBS and teach him a thing or two.
I do not
there
want
you
to be
go.
embarrassed like that.
Why? Because he's so bad? Is that what you're saying?
He's so good. He'd look at my dovetails and be like, "What the hell do you think you're doing?"
Donald, the one thing that got me about your channel a while back ago when I first met you, I don't know, 3 years or so ago, is that you were playing around with Blender and those really cool intros and stuff like that. And I'm looking at it, I'm just thinking, I'm never going to learn this. I'm not even going to try it. But you were doing some pretty cool stuff with that.
It takes some time, and at one point I was trying to do a different one for each video, and it takes so much time to build everything, and the more complicated you get, the more time gets put into it.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about Blender. I used it and I created some stuff in Blender, but I will tell you this much: it's a very if you don't know it inside and out and use it proficiently all the time where you can understand it, it's very, very complicated. They can create actually animated videos. I mean, the sky's the limit with Blender.
I mean, it's a professional animation.
Yes.
They make video games and stuff out of it.
You have to, as Donald and me, you have to sit down and play with it a lot and start studying it and learning it. And then by the time you finish that, you could build a damn bedroom suit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Huge learning curve.
See, now I'm thinking you're talking about a blender to make like margaritas.
No.
It didn't take me long to learn a blender. I could make a drink in 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think one thing leads to another.
Five buttons. What's to learn?
It's actually 3D animation software, but the reason I like it is because I can edit my videos in it, and in it I have the power, the control of putting my timelines and everything where I want it to make the video move where I want it to, without having a cameraman sitting there zooming.
Right. No, and you're right. It's a powerful program.
But when you start doing those intros and getting them to render and stuff, it's a resource heavy program, and you're not gonna be able to do. You're gonna tie up your computer for at least an hour. For a very short segment.
Like a 30 seconds segment will take you like 2 hours to render.
Wow.
You need a very good graphics card.
Yeah.
Frenzy Wicked Truth out there.
So I know that you got into pins and you've been casting a lot. What are you using for your casting material? What resins?
For the most part, it's been Alumilite, but I've been I got a gallon of extreme resin for Christmas. It's pretty cool. And that's probably it. And using the dyes and some of the what do you call it? The pigment, the dust, mica powders, and stuff like that.
Yeah, mica powders.
I'm mixing a little bit of everything. I'm turning Peter Brown's my hero right now. Just can I put this in here?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But now your turning has come to a halt because but no shopsmith you're turning.
Yep. Until I can get that. I mean, I've got a few feelers out there, but you know.
What's that, Dixon?
It's the shop. His version. The motor is in his machine. They got a motor for it on eBay for $99. It's the version 5 Shopsmith. So if you look around, they got them out there. See which way you want to go once you get to know what's going on.
And after I talked to you, I was in another forum, and a guy's grandfather or father died, and he has a Shopsmith with all the attachments, a Shopsmith 5 like yours, on sale for $800. So, and actually, that's a damn good buy. $800. He's got the table saw, the bandsaw, and a lot of the other attachments. So $800 is a damn good buy for that. And I understand you don't have the money out.
And
I understand.
Well, I got my tax return that's going to be coming in, but then I've got to put that toward getting my vehicle ready to where I can get it legal and everything. So,
yeah.
Are you going to be, with your health conditions, are you going to be able to actually go back to work for a job, or you pretty well going to have to scrap that out?
Nothing I'm qualified for, because I can't stand on them concrete floors or anything anymore.
Yeah. I noticed that. Actually, I noticed that hit me the worst was the last woodworking show, which the Gwyneth Woodworkers invited me up there to be in their booth and do some scroll saw demonstrations. That was not last year, but year before. Yeah, I think year before. I think it's been 2 years now that I think about it. Anyway, I noticed that day standing on those concrete, like you're saying, you're in Lowe's. I noticed that day just standing there at the woodworking convention. I was like, my back was killing me standing on the damn concrete floor. So I can't even imagine what your back felt like.
And when you got that sciatic, when you know what happens with that sciatic nerve and everything, it starts acting up on it. And customers don't understand. Look, I need to sit down a minute. Just hang on.
Hang on.
And they shouldn't have to understand that.
I don't know if it was the same for you, but the more I walked, the better I was with my sciatic. It's the standing in one position for a period of time that killed me. But if I would get out and start walking, it would ease off, and it seemed to be a whole lot better as long as I was walking. But stop and sit there and talk to somebody for 15 or 20 minutes, your whole leg starts just on. It feels like somebody put a match to your clothes because your leg is burning.
And then working them shelves, you're bending over, kneeling down, and all that. That just it gets you start cramping up.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for Donald. You've made some beautiful pins and put them over on Facebook, showing some of the work that you do. Do you have any place on the internet where you're selling any of your work?
Just basically on Facebook right now. I tried an Etsy store, but I never had any success with it. I wound up paying more than, at the time I was using it, they charged you for however long you kept it up there to keep it up there. And it just got where it cost. I was paying them and not making any money off of it. So
Etsy will pop some other stuff in there too. My wife sold this really pretty sewing thing she made, and we looked at the sales on it, and Etsy's like, "Oh, we're going to charge you 10% because we did this ad." And
I had to stop that on my Etsy and make them quit doing that to me. But they charge you 20 cents per listing to list it, and then they take the sales tax out, and take their commission out, and there's a lot of fees and things involved in that. People don't understand. Shipping is expensive in itself, and they want you to ship everything for free. So you have to wrap that up in the price of your work. You know, people go to looking at it and start getting sticker shock. Well, they don't understand how much stuff is wrapped up in that. And by the time you get all done, you're not making but a couple bucks on your work.
Yeah.
And so I think
I
that's
never
one of the
did.
reasons why I have better luck selling my stuff on Facebook, because the people there know exactly how much time I put into stuff.
Right.
And why a slimline pen, why I charge $30 for a slimline pen. I got $30 in it.
Yeah.
I have a question for Donald too.
You go ahead.
Donald, and it's more of advice perhaps. I've got a lathe and I've got a table saw. I also have acquired a shopsmith. Now I was going to turn it into a drill press. What things can you tell me to do to it, or what would you recommend? How should I use that shopsmith?
Well, I'd ship it to Donald. Just an idea.
I was about to say. But
besides shipping it to you, Donald.
If you've already got the saw and all that, I'd stand it up, set it up for the drill press like you're talking about, and then make a shelf on the back end of it to store stuff on or whatever, just to put some added weight on it. That'll keep it from...
Good point. Because it is sitting, it's sitting on this long bench that, seriously, my God, it's heavy. Okay. But still, yeah.
Those stands are amazingly stable. A lot more stable than you think they are. But still, why waste that space when you can use it to stack something on the store? Yeah. So other than that, that's pretty much it.
That's excellent. Excellent advice. So you would recommend turning it into an upright drill press?
If that's what you need. And it being the shopsmith, you can always take the junk off the back end of it and lay it down and use it. Say your table saw goes out for whatever reason. Yeah. You can lay it down and use it as a table saw. I wouldn't tie up that end too much just for that particular reason.
Well, I've got my eyes on a different type of table saw, but anyway, it's nothing I can't afford.
The man came up with a question. He says, "I've never seen a shopsmith, only in YouTube, and what's wrong with them?" Nothing's wrong with them, Aussie man. Bill, nothing's wrong with them. They were created as a tool that had a singular motor and had multiple attachments. In other words, you had a table saw attachment to it. Don't you have bandsaw attachments to it?
Yeah, you can get a bandsaw for it. You can get a joiner for it.
A joiner for it? It had multiple attachments. So basically, you bought one motor and all these other attachments to it. So you had they were. And I'm not downplaying the shopsmith. They were for the hobbyist. It was definitely not a professional tool because you couldn't create things off of it as a professional and try to get out there and sell them. But it was great for a small workshop, but yet you had so many attachments that you could do so many things with. And they are quality built. They're not shabby saws. Yeah.
They as long as you set it up right, it is very accurate. Yes. It's not like a lot of the like the table saws that you buy, the contractor table saws, which is it's a well built machine.
Yeah, it was well built, well designed. Whoever did it. Awesome wood things. I'm not touching awesome wood things. I'm not touching a shopsmith. I don't trust it. I beg to differ. They were a good machine. They were precision and everything, and they were built for the hobbyist, for the average homeowner that couldn't afford a table saw, a bandsaw, a joiner, a planer, all these other tools. You had one tool with all these attachments that would do basically the same thing. And once again, it was for the hobbyist. It was not designed as a professional in machine. But I had a friend of mine that was a firefighter, Pete Smith, and he built, he had a shopsmith, and he built me a fire truck and gave it to me for my birthday. Actually, it was a ladder truck. totally made out of wood. The ladder was made out of wood and everything for my birthday present. And it was like, I was like in awe that he had been able to do that. And he did it all on a shopsmith. So don't discount them. They're pretty nice tools. It's just, and they still make them, by George.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the other big thing is, if you don't have the space for all those tools,
Right. That's a big
that
plus.
shopsmith is that's Donald. How long does it take you to switch it from one tool to another?
A couple of minutes.
That's
Okay.
all. Wow.
I would think that would be the only negative, but then again, you can fit it in a tight space.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, there is not people get the wrong idea about how long it takes to change it. I can change it from a drill press down to a table saw in a minute.
Okay.
Maybe two. I mean, because I'm slow, I poke, and you're ready to go. It's not a complicated machine.
Right. And once again, it was not designed as a cabinet maker's workshop. It was not designed for if you're wanting to do production, this is totally a hobbyist homeowner situation that you want to have be able to do a lot of things with one machine. And this was the answer.
At most, it was made for any kind of business type thing. For somebody like me who's going to turn a few pins and sell them,
Right?
It's nothing. It's not meant to be a contract work or production or anything like that. No. I think it could do it, but
well, in fact, it was made for the do-it-yourself market. I mean, it was specifically, picked. Yeah.
It was designed for you to have in your garage to back out your car, and you got room, and you've got your 5 tools there. Yeah, right. That's what it's for.
When it first came out, it was crazy popular.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it was.
Oh yeah,
they hit the market and they took off. Boom, their stock.
And it was right through the 80s, but in the 90s, everybody started going to their standalone machines. Which, if you've got room, who's not going to pick a standalone machine?
Yeah.
If you've got the room and the money. Unfortunately, I got neither.
Hey, let's talk about room. Do you have your shop in the house, or are you out in the garage?
No, there's a separate building.
You got a whole separate building?
Cool. Which, I mean, compared to what I had, it's plenty of room, but still, when you're doing work in the shop, things collect.
I recall you working under a canopy in the back of your truck.
Rick St. Louis said,
shop. I remember when you had that.
Mm-hmm.
Rick St. Louis said he had one and it worked just fine, and that's how he got into woodworking. So.
Chris Nealon says he's got 4 of them.
Yeah.
If you're a woodworker just starting out and want your basic power tools, table saw, lathe, drill press, you can set it up to be a shaper or router or whatever you want to call it. That's your machine there.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, a new one, it's not cheap.
A new one runs about, if I remember right, when I was looking on the thing today, a new one runs about $1,200.
Nope. A really good table saw costs that though.
Just the basic build up is like $5,000. I was looking the other day, but once you add all the attachments and all that stuff, the extra to it that you're going to need, you're getting on up there.
Yeah. But no, I'm just talking about the shopsmith. The shopsmith itself, you could buy just the shopsmith for like $1,200.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Mark V is $3,500, $3,559, a brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. A brand new one?
Yeah, it was $35.59.
The $1,200 one I looked at was used then.
Yeah, I mean you can find a lot of times you can find them on Craigslist, eBay, or whatever for anywhere from $1,800, $1,500, depending on the.
It must have been a used one then, because I was thinking like, all right, I wonder what a brand new was, and I typed it in, but I saw something for $1,200. It must have been Yeah, even Chris Nealon says no, Russ. $3,500. Oh wow!
Yeah.
The
No,
thing-
Russ,
It must have been a used one I was looking at then.
$1,200 is my X card when I bought it 7 years ago.
And Rick St. Louis he bought his for $1,200 40 years ago.
Yeah, for the Mark V, the Mark 7 is $4,200.
Yeah.
And that's another. Don't let my motor burning out fool you. That's a 40-year-old motor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
Well, after you've used it for 40 years, you can't expect it to keep. I mean, if it craps out, you go like, yeah, I got 40 years out of it. So,
And when we got it, was used. So I don't know how it was used before then, but for the past 5 years, for the biggest part of the past 5 years, I wore it out.
Yeah.
yeah.
we were in.
So,
we were in Restore once, the Habitat reselling store, and there was a shopsmith over in the tool section, and I kept thinking, we got to go back and get that. We got to go back and get that. Yeah, I went back the next day. He was gone. So, and they only wanted a couple $100 for it.
Of all the things you have built in your little workshop, and you've built a lot of stuff over the years, and I'm actually amazed. I will have to tell you, I'm amazed, and I don't want to say proud of you because that sounds like I'm higher or better than you. But if you get my understanding, I am so glad of everything that you've been able to do in your workshop. And I understand you're not a professional worker, but of all the things that you have built, what would you say are some of the most things that you built and afterwards you went like, wow, damn, that was pretty good?
Oh, well, of course, the table I built for my daughter out of that.
Yep, that was beautiful.
That was awesome.
That was sweet.
It was.
My workbench, I'm tickled to death over that thing. I use that thing left and right. That's the most useful, best thing I've built so far. And there've been a couple of boxes I built. The first box I did was with the inlay. I was honestly amazed with myself that I was able to get it that good.
Right.
And right now I'm getting tickled to death over the jewelry box I'm building.
I saw that. I've been seeing that you built that jewelry box. It looks pretty sharp so far. I mean, yeah.
Because that's really actually the first thing that I didn't really pull from anybody else. I went to SketchUp and that's mine.
Right. Cool.
Yeah, I'll go one step further with it. Where do you see yourself going now? Are you stuck in the pen and seam ripper rabbit hole, or do you want to keep,
I want to do it all.
Going on from there? Yeah,
I want it all. No, I mean the pins and the seam rippers and that stuff. That's extra money. I mean, I smoke. I am on disability. My disability pays the bills, but I smoke. I eat.
You eat? What?
Dude,
So,
you
I
gotta
mean-
sacrifice something, so it might as well be food.
So I mean, that's what that's for. The woodworking and stuff, the YouTube and all that, I just enjoy doing it.
Just for fun.
It's a passion for me. I love it.
Yes,
You love
it
watching it,
becomes it's not only a passion for you. It is definitely a passion for you now because you're unable to work, so to speak. So this is your only outlet of being able to get out there and do something. Is now your wood shop,
and it's a form of therapy for me because crap gets. I get out there, I get concentrating on what I'm doing, and everything else is just gone.
You're in your own little world.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Roommate gets
understand.
mad with me. I go out there and save my life.
Yep. No, but I understand that in the same aspect because you're right. I come out here, I can be frustrated and come out here and decide. A simple thing is cleaning the shop, and you would think that would be like, you want to clean your damn shop, really? But just
Never.
coming out here and cleaning your damn shop will take your mind off of some of the problems. Paul says no because he don't clean his damn shop.
I
so
don't. In fact, I got my new CNC, and my shop is so messy and so full of crap that it's sitting in our room down here in the boxes because I don't have room in my shop for it.
Well, Paul, you don't want to screw up your brand.
And that's the great thing about the shop with me, because I don't have to go out there and go, well, what am I going to do? There's always something that needs to be done.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just sharpening the tool.
My shop always needs to be clean. Trust me.
Russ, we got a view of it the other day, and I was proud of you.
No, it's still pretty rough right now. I am cleaning it up, and I've been doing some stuff this week and everything, but it still needs a lot of cleaning. And but the thing about it is, I get out here and I go to clean it, and I want to play with the laser, so I put the stuff on the laser and started. I do clean while the laser's burning. I will say that much, but.
You were talking about going out in the shop and just doing something to brighten your day up or whatever, but that's what's so cool about a lathe. You go out there, you throw a piece of wood on it, and like a half an hour later, you get a bowl or a big plate, or it's like instant gratification.
Or a piece of busted up wood in the trash.
Yeah. Somebody's firewood pile, you go and raid.
A black eye.
I've seen that on a menu occasion where people will show that they found, and you look at it and you go like, damn, that is a nice looking log. And they were like, I found this on the wood pile. I was like, no way, I want to burn this. I want to try to make something out of it. And when they make something, you go like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's so, out of everything. That's what when my shopsmith's down, that's what I miss most, the lathe. It was nothing but turning a pin. Because again, you're in your own little world. You're worried about something flying at you, and you ain't worried about nothing else.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry that but what'd you say? It was 40 years old total? I know you haven't had it for 40 years, but the motor's 40 years old?
Judging from everything I found out from the serial number and the numbers on it and all that, it's a machine from the 80s. So and as far as I know, the motor ain't been rebuilt. I ain't seen no signs of it. So,
yeah.
And the only service I know it's had on it is the belts and stuff that I changed here a little while back. Yeah. Which makes me wonder, should I not just not put new belts on?
Okay. Chris Nealon had to take a break a while ago to get his groceries when they was delivered, and he missed out on you saying what happened to your shopsmith. So he's asking, did your shopsmith die? What do you need?
I'm thinking a motor. Again, I got irritated with it and depressed and all that good stuff, so I haven't gone. I cut it off and walked away from it.
But it was smelling like the motor burnout.
It smelled like it smelled like a burned up motor. Now the motor still. I went out there earlier today, and in order to slow down the speed, you either have to go inside of it and disconnect everything, or crank it up and turn it while it's moving. While the motor's moving, the motor was still moving, but it sounded real rough.
Yeah. Well, it could. I mean, there's a distinct difference between the smell of a bearing going bad and the electrical windings going bad. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you can smell it, it smells like burnt electrical wires. Is the only way to put it. So
that's what it smelled like. And
it's probably the windings of the motor finally let go.
I know most people would have probably tore into it right then, or at least earlier today. But I know me, I need to stay away from it for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris says that it sounds like jammed belts. He says that can happen.
It could be. All I know is I was cutting some stuff on the table saw, and it. I'm sure a lot of you run something through the table saw and had it bogged down
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the motor just kept completely lost power.
Right.
And when I backed it up, it started back up again. Now I look over here, there's smoke coming out. Okay, stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't let the smoke out.
Here's the thing. Let us know once you find out what's going on. Keep us updated because I've been reading your posts. So keep us updated as to what you find out. Is it fried or is it something simple?
Well,
So
I plan on getting out there tomorrow when I got time to mess with it without being interrupted. Because whenever you're trying to work on something like that and you're having to stop to go do this, stop to go do it, that works on your nerves too. And
yeah, it
It's
does.
irritating.
Yeah.
Chris
I know
Nealon. Chris
the
Nealon
older
is
I get, the less patience I have with such things.
Chris Nealon is saying out there in chat that he may have an extra headstock. Just so you know.
Okay, yeah, I'll see what goes on, and I think I got him on my friends list on Facebook. If not, I'll get up with him.
Okay.
That's another hard part with me is I think I know people have them available, but me being able to get to them is a different story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because your truck's disabled and you're now having to fix your truck too, so you don't even have a ride. So,
And well, the tags are due on the car, so I mean on the roommate's car, so.
oh, I know. If it ain't one thing, it's another.
When it rains, it pours.
Yep. Everything hits at once.
Yeah, it does.
Somebody wise once told me that if you wasn't having problems, you weren't living. I look back at him and I said, "Oh my God, am I ever living?"
With me, I go through phases of where I get to a point of forget the horse, shoot me.
That's why you kind of teeter-totter on Jackie's nerves, isn't it? You walk that fine line.
I keep it right there. So all I need to know is that much more, and I ain't got to worry about that no more.
Yeah. Before it's getting time for us to get off here, but I do want to ask you one question. When you were doing a lot of those dovetails, and you were using like a handsaw, what is it, a carpenter saw or whatever?
That's a tenon saw. Matter of fact, Jackie's. Back when I first started, I was wanting a back saw, something besides the ones you get in those cheap little miter sets and all that.
Like the Japanese ones?
Jackie's father had passed away a few months before, and they were going to sell the house, and he had some tools, and she asked me if I might want some of his tools. So I went, and sure enough, it was sitting there. Yeah, I mean, it's like he knew. And that, she said, you know, I thought about selling the stuff, but she knew her daddy and knew how much I love woodworking, and if there's anything out there I could use, he'd want me to have it. So now a lot of that stuff is still here with her.
Right. So when you started into this, doing these dovetails by hand, what are your suggestions for people that would like to pursue that hand dovetail thing? What are some of the things that you run into that you, after you started, you went like, wow, this ain't gonna work? Or so can you give some suggestions to people out there that are, you know?
Make sure your blade is sharp. Don't pay attention when you're cutting. Don't try to hog through all of it at once. Take your time. And don't get frustrated because your first few sets of dovetails are ugly as hell.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be.
Yeah, never get frustrated at the beginning. That's bad.
And one more thing, and I found it, if you can find hardwood to do it in, like oak or walnut especially, it's easier to learn on a hardwood like that than it is to try and dovetail in pine. I did it in pine, and that's part of my frustration. Because when you're joining it, the fibers are so soft, they crush.
Right.
Yep.
But in walnut or oak or something, you don't have that problem.
Right, I get what you're saying. The hardwoods would hold together better. The pine was like really, yeah.
Question:
That's good.
How do you sharpen your tools, Donald?
With a file.
Just a file with a hand file?
The saws, I use a saw file, a hand saw file. The chisels and stuff, I have a grinder. I mean, I got a bench grinder. I do
Any
that.
jigs, or do you just put it up there and kind of eyeball?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Kind of redneck
Any
stuff.
Me, I just do it by hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of do too. I mean, it's.
I started out with a handmade jig to get that angle.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned from meat cutting to tools and sharpening stuff like that, everybody holds the tool different. So you kind of got to get adjusted to what edge you need, as opposed to what degree you need.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yep. One thing about that is cool when you said you did meat cutting, and people don't realize this, they actually have a meat cutting bandsaw in most butcher shops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's designed to do nothing but cut meat. That's all it does.
Oh, and believe me, when Food Line, I used to work for Food Line too. That's who I cut meat for. When they started bringing in the prepackaged meat and all that, they were getting rid of the bandsaw. I was eyeballing that bad boy, waiting for them to throw it out in the bag.
Yeah,
you didn't care if it
it's pretty much a stainless steel, isn't it? Bandsaw. Yeah.
I think they refer to it as a bone saw when they have it.
Yeah, bone saw. Yeah. No,
I went to a trade show.
It's in every aspect a normal bandsaw. Trust me.
The only thing that really different about it is it's sealed and set up so it can get wet.
Yep, it's for wash down. Yep.
Yeah, it can get washed down.
I went to a trade show for work 5 years ago, maybe, up in Chicago, and this guy was showing me this bandsaw that his company made that was like a saw stop, but it was faster than a saw stop. That blade would just lock up, and you couldn't even tell it, was even turning.
Right. No, I know that because I've been around butcher shops my entire life. We were raised on a farm, and my dad used to butcher all his own meat. And then as he got older, when we would slaughter the cow, we would actually take it to a butcher shop where we knew, and they would hang it for us and then cut it and package it and for so much a pound, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been in that butcher shop on many occasions, and I had seen that bandsaw. Like, they will take a rack of pork chops that may be this long, and they will run them through and cut thin pork chops or thick pork chops, and that sucker will cut right through the bone and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what brings that out and makes it funny is I read somewhere where people were saying, like, do you rinse your meat before you cook it or whatever? And I'm like, are you freaking stupid? Why? I mean, if you knew how pork chops were cut with a bandsaw, there's all kind of bone fragments. I don't care how good they wash them or whatever. I wash all my meat real good and examine it before I ever cook it. So I was like,
before we put the pork chops in the pack, we've got a scraper that we're supposed to scrape all that off with. But when you're under production, sometimes that step gets slid by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So always pork, you can't really do it with beef, but with pork, you need to.
Yeah, you need to
run it under some cold water. You're good to go.
Yeah. Oh, I have run into a lot of problems with, or a lot of stuff on my pork chops when I rinsed them off, and I was like, yeah, thank God I didn't chew on that one before I rinsed it.
And I mean, again, you're dealing with a thing of production that you never know what's going to get missed.
No, you don't. You don't. Anything else, Donald, you'd like to add?
That's about it, I believe. I
So,
can't think of nothing I
what
screwed up
other,
this
I mean,
week.
I know your shop with Smith was your predominant tool, but what are some of the other tools you have? You have a bandsaw?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me
I've got
tool.
other than the shopsmith, I had a circular saw, a jigsaw, which is what I cut them signs with, the truck signs, Dremel tool, and a router.
Wow. I'm actually amazed, my friend, that some of the work that I see you do with such minimal tools that you have.
I amaze myself at times.
I'm sure you do.
When I was cutting them legs on for that table, I don't know
Unanimous
if
here,
you ever
Donald.
tried to take a handsaw and taper
I saw that,
3-foot
and I
blade.
went like,
I was amazed at how stupid I was for not putting that in the table saw.
yeah. No, I have followed along with some of your stuff, and I'm amazed. I'm amazed at the quality of work with the minimal of tools that you produce, and it comes down to the fact that your heart's in it. Your heart is in whenever you start something like when you built that table for your daughter. Your heart was in it, and you did damn good. That table, I saw it was beautiful.
That and my father instilled something in me, and working with a lot of old time meat cutters. If you're gonna do something, if you're gonna do it, be proud of it. Do something you be proud of. Take the time to do it right.
Right.
Yeah. I don't see any more questions out there, but I will say thank you for Leonard Davis, Frenzy Wicked Truth, Aussie Man, being out there. Leonard Davis again. He's been out here chatting quite a bit. Chris Nealon has been out there. Trying to see who all's been out here.
Frenzy Wicked Truth.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I said her, Aussie Man. Yeah,
Chris
it's like
Nealon.
so we've
Brenda G.
Yeah, Brenda G, but she's on the chat, so she don't really count.
I don't count. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Oh no!
More cowbell.
More cowbell.
Cowbell.
Come on, Brenda, give us a cowbell. Brenda.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit.
Need some
Quite a few
cowbell.
people. Well, we're sitting at
Oh man!
34, and we got some over on Facebook and on Twitch, so we're doing pretty good. So, but I appreciate you being back on, Donald. And I will leave you an open invitation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think if Brian gets his ass in here, that would make us 9 people on the show per week, and we could have 1 guest. So, yeah, if you would like to join us sometimes, just you know how to get a hold of me. PM me and say, hey, you got room for me on the show this week, and I'd be more than happy to have you on there.
Cool deal. I may do that more now that I ain't.
Come back.
Yeah.
I may do that a little bit more now that I ain't at your favorite store anymore.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. Well, I forgive you, my friend. God, if God can forgive me after all the wicked, evil, mean, cruel things I've done in my life, He can actually let me forgive you for working for Lowe's.
Well, I can promise you it won't because I wanted to, but sometimes the bills got to be paid.
Oh, I know. I know that. And we've had a lot of jests between that through with Lowe's, but they're actually a pretty good store. And I've shopped in them on more than one occasion, trust me.
And again, a lot of it depends on who's at that store, the quality of employees and the quality of management they have.
The one that's closest to me is in Plant City, Florida. And I've been over to that one in Plant City, Florida. And I've also, that's about the closest, but there's always also one kind of close here in Lakeland. And the one over here in Lakeland sucks. I don't go to it. That's about the worst store you could ever go to.
And them, along with everybody else, is suffering from the bad thing of not putting any time into training their people.
Yeah. So, but the one in Plant City doesn't seem to be too bad. I went over there on several occasions and bought some stuff from them, and they're pretty doggone good. I mean, the people were willing to help you, and they were fairly knowledgeable and everything. So, I was really happy with that one over there. So, once again, I want to say it's not that the products are too much different, because basically Lowe's and Home Depot carry pretty much the same damn thing.
Same thing, different companies.
Yeah, it's the amount of quality of people that you that they hire and train has a lot to do with it. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I spent like 10 years going in and out of that Lowe's, or that I go into as a contractor and buying stuff and everything. So pretty much I knew everybody that was in there. I could call them by name, the salesmen and everything else, and some of the guys that worked on the floor, I knew them. Then they'd say, "Hey, Mr. Clarity, how you doing today?" And as I walked down the aisles and everything. But since I have quit the construction business and gone into, I just go up there and buy anything like Joe Blow homeowner, so to speak. I've noticed that all those people that I used to know 10 years ago ain't there anymore.
I honestly believe in some cases they're trying to run some of the old timers off.
Yeah,
because they've got their stuff grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Al wants to say something. Al.
So Russ, actually, this question's for you. Does Donald qualify for shop confessions?
Yeah. Don't you remember the shop confessions, Donald?
Yeah, I remember the last one was cutting myself with the knife you gave me.
Exactly.
That's why I asked.
All right, so give us a shop confession.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, the new one.
I'm not exactly sure what it was I was working on here a while back. I don't believe it was that table. But anyway, I'm sitting there. I've got to be the only person that can be sawing with a handsaw. Look up like this. Let his thumb slide over here like this. Come back down with a full swipe. And dang near lose a thumb from a handsaw.
I remember you posting that. I remember you posting that. Anybody that was dumb enough to cut them with a knife I gave them was dumb enough to cut their finger off with a handsaw.
You're going to have to put one of them sure stops on there.
There you go.
I injured myself.
Finger, man.
I injured myself in that for the public service of saying you got to be careful with your hand tools too. They sharp too.
That means you're sharpening it well, Donald. That means you're an expert at sharpening.
Actually, I'm kind of glad I had just sharpened it because a saw kind of tears.
Yeah.
That one sliced right on through.
Ooh. Yeah.
Not to the bone, but it sure woke me up.
I can see it.
I'll bet.
All
That's
right,
good.
guys. Well, I'm going to bless you, Donald, that you won't have any more handsaw sawing off your finger accidents.
No, there's always the chisels.
Yeah. All right, guys. We've had a good time. And like I said, Donald, the invitation, just if you have a free Saturday and say, hey, you got room for me this Saturday, just PM me and I'll let you know.
Cool
But
deal.
we'd love to have you back. I missed your ugly ass.
I am a missable guy.
But yeah, I missed you though. Yeah, and
I've been being here. I enjoy doing the show.
Oh, I know. And like I said,
back to the
just DM
flock.
me. I will tell you this much: I will put you on every chance I get. And we'll see where it goes.
It's kind of nice to be able to sit with a group of people that don't look at me funny when I say mortise and tenon.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, guys, we're gonna cut out of here. Thank you all for watching. Aussie Man, James Parker, Leonard Davis, Frenzy, Wicked Truth, all y'all who have been out there in the chat tonight. I appreciate it so very much. Jeff Robinson has been out there.
Mitchell,
Rick St. Louis, just to name a few. Leonard Davis.
Got a couple of new ones.
Jim
Yep,
Parker.
we've had all y'all out there, and I'd appreciate it. There's only one thing that I need you to do, or remember, I would say, if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop, you're just too darn busy. Get your butt out in your shop and make some sawdust.
Just
give me
the handful.
Lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
And remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
What Chris said.
Night, everybody.
Here.
Good morning.
Night.